You want to make it easy for whoever visits this website to find what you want them to find. Don't make it hard. Put links out there. Make sure it's smooth navigation. Make sure it's clean, which is nice. Substack's providing a very decent platform that allows for all that. In this video, we're going to cover the website settings of your Substack publication. Yes, you get a website, air quotes, in Substack for your publication. I want to be clear though, and this will become evident as we get further into this video, the website is essentially a subdomain on the substack.com domain or website. So your website lives within the ecosystem of substack.com, not separately from it. I have another video. It is in the show notes. I highly recommend you go watch it and you will understand why I do not recommend that this website or subdomain in Substack be your only website. Why? Because Substack controls it, owns it, everything. It could decide to shutter you tomorrow. You would have no control over that. Whereas if you have your own domain and your own website that is separately hosted through your own subscription somewhere, your own means, you control every aspect of it, then you can rest assured that you've got your own property that is not at the behest or the whim of the powers that own or drive Substack. Okay. With that, we're going to get into the actual website settings. So once again, you get into your settings for your publication, and we've already gone over basics, payments, and growth. This one will cover website. So you have several options here. You should have done this when you went through basics, but it's going to give you this link. This is going to be your website link. Notice that again, it's substack.com, but then there's a subdomain before that, and that is going to be the kind of name of your publication. This will distinguish you from any other URLs in substack.com for other publications. This is yours. My Substack website is butwaitthere'smore.substack.com. Okay. Now, first of all, you can edit your theme. Please do this. If you have any kind of brand colors, you don't have to be super complex about it. Pick colors you like, or pick a font you like or whatever. Just kind of land on it. And you can grow into it. You can expand on it if you want to. Honestly, mine is green. And then I remember I said, okay, what's a good complement color to green? It was purple. Basically, my brand colors are the Joker. But it works for me. So you can click on this edit theme here. And so then we get into the website editor. All right. So you can see this is how my website looks. But I'm also in the edit mode. So along the left, it's going to show you've got homepage. You've got some different tabs where you can set things up differently. A homepage, header, hero, body, footer, and a welcome page, and then posts and podcasts. Over on the right, you'll see that it expands out like what are your settings here. So I had chosen a custom theme, or a custom homepage where I can customize the layout, the branding, navigation. I'm someone who likes control. You do not need to do that. You could just have a single profile where it's just going to be literally one stream of consciousness down the middle. Okay. But I went with custom, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So I said I want the background to be white. It's got a hexadecimal value there of the 6 Fs. But my accent color, which is my brand color, and I'll be honest, I don't have a printed out version of my brand style guide with the colors. It's all in Canva. I just went to Canva and copied what my hexadecimal value was for my color. But I popped it in here. So you can see I've got green buttons and everything's kind of green. That matches my website and my color scheme. Typography. You've got about 5 different options here. Not a ton of option here, but that's okay if you think about it. They've created this website to be international. So regardless of browser or where it's being rendered onto, it wants to make sure just people can read it. So that's why you have minimal options here. I've chosen sans because that tends to match the brand font that I tend to use. I've picked smart cropping for pictures rather than center cropping. Now, actually, if you can see as I hover, if you're watching my thumbnail of my latest video, notice how when it does center, it centers it, or when it does smart, you know what? I'm actually going to change this because I think center kind of grabs more. It gets the title and the full thumbnail in there. So I just changed it. Rounding. I do like rounding. So I've got default in here. You can see over here just on the corners of my images, Very tiny rounding. Let's make that bigger. I can go small, medium, large, absurd. Where you're basically now you're just an oval. I am going to do medium. I'm going to change that to medium. And then do you want to use a custom body layout? Click a block in the preview to edit it. Click between blocks to insert new ones. So you can even go farther if you wanted to add some like text that's going to be up here. Post modules of feature block, subscribe block. I could put that there even though that's up there. You really do have a lot of control here for adding and making sure this looks the way you want it to. So we just made some changes to the homepage. Let's click on header. So header is basically what do you want to appear up here? And notice that it grayed out the rest of the page. It's trying to help you navigate and say, well, what part are you looking at now? That's very helpful. So I've got my logo in there. It's not terribly gigantic, but there it is. You can do wordmark, which is a horizontal image at least. Think of that like a LinkedIn banner or a website banner. And it gives you the dimensions right there. You can easily go into Canvas, your favorite editor, and make that. I opted not to. I really wanted these thumbnails of my videos to kind of be the thing that pops really big. Again, I remind you, I have my own website, butwaitthere'smore.com. So I didn't really want to make a replica here. I didn't want to confuse anybody. This is for Substack, okay? But you can do you. Layout, you can do standard, you can do wide. I can go hamburger where it's just a single line. I can go inline like that. Navigation text is what I've chosen, but you can also do buttons if you prefer that. So you got two choices there. And then for custom colors, you can have that be, again, white. I could make it black if I wanted to. But yeah, so you've got some options there to make it like that. I'm actually going to leave it white for now. And of course, you can hit save to save any of those changes. Let's go over to hero. So once again, it's got a good user interface here where it's saying, okay, well, this is what we're talking about. Your hero is what's up here. And the way you can do that, you've got minimal control over here. You can really say, well, I want it to be feature. Maybe I want it to look like a newspaper, a magazine, a media feature. Actually, I might change this because I do want that to be a little bit bigger. Podcast left aligned, podcast center aligned. I think I'm going to do media feature. I'm going to change that. Show post top row. There we go. Yeah, let's change all that. So now notice that I've made some changes here to my website just in the time that we've been here, but you can see the controls that you have there. Let's get into posts and modules now. You could make a website like where it's a little bit more complex with different tabs, or you can just do the single feed. This is kind of where that looks like. So notice that again, it's grayed out everything except here. I could add a module here. I could do links, contributors, newsletters, podcasts. I could add my podcast there, top posts. So back in here, we have some choices for layout. We can layout, list, or grid. So that just gives some people some more things to look at. You can also say how many posts do you want to appear there. Your options are anywhere between 3 and 7. So you can do 4 or 5. This might also relate to how much do you have in those two sidebars on either side. Do you want it to look a little bit more naked or do you want it to look more full? Title, use override is the title here rather than recent post. The latest stuff. I'll just do that. Okay, great. All right, so I just made changes to that. It is jumping me back to the homepage settings every time, but let's jump to the footer. And once again, down here is the footer. I can change this to no footer. You don't have to have a footer, a centered footer, 2-column footer, or a 3-column footer. And again, it can be based on what you want to add down there. You know what? I'm going to change this to 3-column because I do want to add those social buttons. Publication banner. If we want it hidden, okay, it's got it at the bottom. So now I've got a little bit different layout going on there for my homepage. Now you do have also the option of a welcome page, okay? So when someone is first like arriving to like check you out and stuff, this will show up the first time. So I did make a custom image that was a hi, and it's just a square. You can toggle on and off to show your Substack publication's name, show the description. Skip button can say no thanks. Custom colors, again, I recommend it. I have that toggled on, but I just made it white. I can do whatever. So I'm not going to make any changes there, but those are your options. Okay. All right. So aside from that too, we also have content posts. Here's where you can preview and determine how you want an individual post to look once somebody either finds their way to it, clicks on it, whatever. This is how it will lay out on the page. So I have stuck with what is consistent with what I've chosen already, sans and sans. You do not have to do that. If you like serif and sans, mono and sans, slab with heavy sans, whatever, you can do whatever you want. I kind of like simpler with consistency. So that's what I do. I do want my links underlined. I could also change that to color if I wish. All right. Drop caps. Do we want to display drop caps? So if you do drop caps, take a look at the first line of my post down here in the copy. Notice that it said, if you've ever hit a wall. I don't like it. I'm keeping that off. Show bylines. That's going to be around here. So watch, I can turn that off and on. That really will come into play if you have multiple contributors to your Substack publication and want to make sure people know who wrote what. You'd probably want to have that toggled on. Show byline photos. I'm a big fan of that too. Just again, always branding, always branding. Show navigation buttons. I'm not seeing where that's showing up. So you know what? And I'm going to include this in the video. I'm toggling that on and off and I'm not seeing navigation buttons showing or not. So let's leave it on and who knows. Now, this is interesting. I actually really like this feature of Substack is that if people want to hear your blog instead of read your blog, they can have a read aloud voice. And when we say blog, that would be all the show notes down here, which is how I'm using my Substack. So you can choose who you want. You can preview what they sound like. You've got 6 options: Oliver, Cora, Taylor, Casey, Stewart, Victoria. So whoever floats your boat, you can decide on that to do it. So that lets you adjust how your posts lay out. If you do run a podcast on your Substack publication, which I do love that they offer that, you can also pick that here too. Now you have minimal amount of options here. You can do hero, default left, center, featured media, a podcast left, podcast center. I'm going to do featured media again. I like that consistency of that. Do we want to show the app icons? Why, yes, we do. Let's go ahead. I'm a visual person, so let's do that. And then the body can be a list or a grid, as we already mentioned. I like grid that looks a bit busier, as it should, because I've been a little bit busy, but at least then people can pop around and be like, ooh, I can choose from a few. I like the ability to skim quickly. All right. Now that was a lot. That was the website editor. So like I said, and you just seen, you've got a lot of options there. We are not done yet though. So you've got a navigation bar on your website. You have some choices. If you have a podcast, if you published a podcast, you can have that visible if you want to make sure your notes, and these would be notes, to be clear. These are notes by your individual contributors when they are posting regular notes on Substack, not an article, which goes in a publication. But today, I posted a note just saying something like I was breaking into the Easter candy or something today. That note will appear on this Substack, on this publication website now under the Notes tab. So you can toggle that on and off if you do or do not want that. If you want to have chat open on your website, you can do that. If you want to have an archive, that can really be helpful for your paid versus free subscribers for them to look at the archives, all right? Leaderboard, if you have people who are engaging with your content, you can show who's the leader. And then you can have your about section. And again, you can toggle these on and off if you want. You should always preview what your changes are doing, which again, I like their interface here that they do let you, when you toggle between things, it says, well, here's how that's going to look immediately. Enable Notes tab, show your notes in a new tab on your publication website. You could take that off. Notice that when I untoggled that off, notes disappeared up here. Toggle it back on and it's back, okay? Homepage links, add, edit, or remove links to your Substack homepage. Use them for a blog roll, community sources, or other. So if we go look at this, homepage links, add links to the sidebar of your homepage. So I could add, but wait, there's more business website. And optional to do a subtitle. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so let me go back. So now I've got a homepage link. About page, this page should describe the benefits of subscribing to your publication. You can customize this. I don't think I've customized this yet. So I'm going to make a note for myself to go back and make this a little bit more in my speak. But you should customize this so people can be like, well, who are you? I mean, Something that's very glaringly missing here is, who am I? Why subscribe? Who's Rachel? Like, I should be putting on that, be like, well, I should subscribe, and here's what I'm going to offer you. You get all these free videos and some live streams and whatever. Okay, so I need to go and change that. And then you have custom pages, create pages and add them to your navigation bar. I actually tried adding one already, but if you add one and don't really finish it, you can edit it. It's not yet added to the navigation bar. Maybe you've got a page where you want to add pictures of your latest event that you went to, or I don't know, a sizzle reel. I do have a sizzle reel, or anything like that. Or maybe there's a specific call to action. You could just literally add a page here that links out to everywhere you want people to find you, along with maybe some seasonal or timely calls to action. You can do that and add these additional pages and decide if you want those to appear in your navigation. And then custom tags. These really are kind of like categories or topics that you can be, subtopics you can be adding to your post, to your videos, to whatever you're posting on, you're publishing on your publication. And you'll see in here, I have tagged about 96 different things based on what my publication stuff is about. You can do custom tags. So, but you can definitely, and you can go back in here too, you can add to navigation bar. So if I did want somebody to be able to find, hey, do you want to see where I talked about AI? Click this here. But that's where you do have some choice. That was a lot, but that is the website section of your Substack publication. Once again, I made these videos separately because I think you need to set aside some time for each one of these to really tackle it. As I mentioned, I've got a couple tweaks I need to make. The first time I went through this, I think it took me about 90 minutes just to make sure I kind of had it all set up the way I wanted it to. But even then, notice that I've got some more work to do. You want to make it easy for whoever visits this website to find what you want them to find. Don't make it hard. Put links out there. Make sure it's smooth navigation. Make sure it's clean, which is nice. Substack's providing a very decent platform that allows for all that. You only get to control so much stuff. You cannot get in the coding of that website and make changes to the CSS or anything like that. You can make some subtle changes based on layout and things like that, and just kind of your own decisions. So enjoy. Let me know if this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, if you have some ideas about like, well, here's what I'm thinking of doing with my Substack website. Let me know. I would love to opine on that with you. But please do go check my other video about why you should have your own website that is not necessarily on Substack, but on your own domain, and you own that shit. It's important because right now, guess what? This is all rented land, okay? And Substack does get a cut of everything I might earn on my Substack website. And whereas if it was my website, I control that stuff. So enjoy. Thank you so much for watching, and have fun building out your Substack website. You're still here? It's over. But you should hit like on this video before you head out, and subscribe if you want to get more videos that'll help you realize how much more there is to marketing. See what I did there?